I might be deported because I'm a naturalized citizen. And Stephen Miller, who is Donald Trump's deputy chief of staff, has said that they're going to embark on a denaturalization program. So I could be deported, my citizenship could be taken away, and my children could be deported because they have birthright citizenship.
You know, at a certain point, you have to question whether the media is really just that stupid and ignorant, like they don't know what they're talking about, or they are being deliberately and maliciously dishonest. I don't know. These days, my money is on dishonest, but feel free to comment your thoughts on that down below, because today CNN ran a segment over Trump's comments about birthright citizenship that were just so insanely, like, outside the realm of reality. You really have to question how this network is even on the air to begin with. We'll show you that here today. So folks, do us a big favor. Make sure you hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And last time, I'm going to say announcement. We will be on Timcast IRL tonight. Be sure to go check that out on his YouTube channel. And with that said, okay, so just so we can frame the context of this, what's being discussed here? Well, recently in his interview with Meet the Press, Trump doubled down on his comments that he's going to be ending the birthright citizenship loophole for illegal immigrants. This is essentially the anchor baby thing where people come into the country illegally or on a tourist visa. They give birth to their kid, and it's like, oh, look, now that kid is a U.S. citizen. It's a ridiculous loophole. Here's what Trump had to say.
You promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
You know, we're the only country that has it. Do you know, if somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need to, on our land, congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, okay, firstly, Kristen Walker, just to be clear, that is not what the 14th Amendment says. You're forgetting the part where it's subject to the jurisdiction thereof, okay? What does jurisdiction mean? We'll get into that later in this video. But firstly, so you heard that right there. What did CNN have to say? Well, this one panelist came on Jim Acosta's show to claim this now means that she, as a legal, naturalized U.S. citizen, is going to be deported, and her kids would be deported as well. Again, totally out of the realm of like what we're talking about. Is just ridiculous. No context, no application. Here's what she had to say. Take a listen.
I might be deported because I'm a naturalized citizen. And Stephen Miller, who is Donald Trump's deputy chief of staff, has said that they're going to embark on a denaturalization program. So I could be deported. My citizenship could be taken away, and my children could be deported because they have birthright citizenship. So this is not what the country voted for. Let's be very clear. Americans voted for Trump because of groceries, because of lowering costs. He has not talked about that one bit. What this country did not vote for is to deport the 11 million undocumented immigrants who do critical work for our economy, who have injected $7 trillion into our economy. And what Americans want is a solution to immigration. They want expanded legal pathways, and they do want more stronger, smart border security, which is exactly what Democrats are talking about. And Democrats have always been the ones willing to work with Republicans on a solution, and it's been Republicans that have always pulled the rug from under our feet.
Wow.
Okay, so again, see why I said what I said in the beginning? Intentionally and deliberately dishonest, or just really stupid. But I think at that point, okay, because it's very clear, first of all, what is being discussed here. Again, we are talking about the anchor baby loophole. Again, let me reiterate, this is the process by which either illegal immigrants or people on tourist visas come over here and abuse our legal immigration system to get citizenship for their children simply because their children were born in the United States. We are not talking about denaturalizing legal immigrants who came in on green cards or whatever. We're certainly not talking about denaturalizing their children. You know, I heard a lot of stupid liberals going on Twitter and claiming in response to this that, oh, Barron Trump would get deported because he would be denaturalized. No, he did not abuse, right? Trump, first of all, U.S. citizen. Melania at the time, I believe, was a legal permanent resident, and there's no anchor baby loophole there. Okay. But again, I shouldn't even have to explain it because you guys are just deliberately lying about this. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I love the comment there that American people did not vote for Trump to fix the immigration process. First of all, Yes, they did. Okay, number one, if you look at any major opinion poll, exit polls, whatever you want to talk about, following the 2024 election, American voters, yes, did care about the economy as a number one issue, but overwhelmingly, what was the number two issue? Immigration. Okay? Just pull it up. Yes, they absolutely did vote for Trump, as one of the major reasons being they wanted him to fix and clean up immigration. Guys, he was not coy about this on the campaign trail. It's not just like, he said he was going to do some stuff and then suddenly mass deportations. Where did this come from? No, literally at the RNC, they were giving out signs, showing them all over the camera saying mass deportations now. Yes, fact check, true. Mass deportations were always one of the core key campaign promises of the Trump campaign in 2024. It's ridiculous to suggest otherwise. Again, he was not exactly quiet about this issue. And by the way, I love the claim that she says at the end there that Democrats are always the one, the American people agree with the Democrats on immigration. We're the ones with the common sense solutions. Then why didn't they vote for you in the election? Yeah, as it freaking turns out, lady, okay, this very partisan activist claiming she's going to be deported here. No, the American people do agree with Trump on immigration. They do agree with the Republican stance of mass deportations on immigration. And you know why? You know how we know that? Because they voted for him in the election, with exit polls saying that right behind the economy, immigration was the number two issue. But I love this, right? I love the people who didn't vote for Trump, who are still bitter and angry and just campaigning against him to this day, being the ones who claim, I really understand why the American people voted for Trump. I have all the answers. No, you don't. Right? No, you don't. Because if you did have the answers, you might have steered Kamala Harris in a better direction in a campaign where perhaps she would have won. No, don't try to tell us what our movement is about. Don't try to tell us, the actual people who voted for Trump, why we voted for Trump. No, we did vote for mass deportations. Again, immigration was a serious issue. The Democrat solution to it was overwhelmingly unpopular, and that is why you lost the election. And now you have no right, no power, no nothing to be able to tell us what we can and can't do. Now, just really quickly, I did bring this article up in a video, I believe it was yesterday, but I feel like we need to do it again. In fact, let's read basically the entire thing here, because I've seen a lot of people claiming that birthright citizenship was always supposed to apply to the children of illegal immigrants. And it turns out, this is a great article from the Heritage Foundation published in 2018, back when Trump was talking about this before. That is not true. That has never been the case. And, this is very important information, actually, as it turns out. So let's get into this. Again, reading the whole thing, I brought up a little bit of this in the last video, but the fact that a tourist or illegal alien is subject to our laws and courts if they violate our laws does not place them within the political jurisdiction of the United States, as that phrase was defined by the framers of the 14th Amendment. The amendment's language was derived from the 1866 Civil Rights Act, which provided that a person born in the United States and not subject to any foreign power, this is why we're talking about why illegal immigrants should not get automatic birthright citizenship, would be considered citizens. Senator Lyman Trumbull, a key figure in the adoption of the 14th Amendment, said himself, right? So the people who were writing this back then said that subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S. included not owing any allegiance to any other country, right? So people can bring up the Constitution. They say it's unconstitutional. Obviously, this is probably going to have to be decided by a new Supreme Court decision, but I'm just pointing out here, when you take a look at the original purpose, the original intent of the 14th Amendment, it was never meant to apply to anchor babies. It was never meant to be abused in this way, and the proof is in the pudding. Look at what the framers of the 14th Amendment said about this themselves. Yes, the children, I should say, of foreign nationals, non-citizens of the U.S. who are subject to the jurisdiction of other countries, were never supposed to receive birthright citizenship. As John Eastman, a former dean of the Chapman School of Law, has said, many do not seem to understand the distinction between, the different jurisdictions there. But in the famous slaughterhouse cases of 1872, the Supreme Court stated that this qualifying phrase was intended to exclude children of ministers, consuls, and citizens or subject of foreign states born within the United States. This was confirmed in 1884 in another case, Elk versus Wilkins, when citizenship was denied to an American Indian because he owed, quote, immediate allegiance to his tribe and not the U.S., American Indians and their children did not become citizens until Congress passed the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924, noting here there would have been no need to pass such legislation if the 14th Amendment extended citizenship to every person born in America, no matter what the circumstances of their birth were, and no matter who their parents are. So again, guys, when you look at the original historical precedent of this, let's reiterate, okay, to all the people trying to talk a bunch of nonsense about this, no, the 14th Amendment was never meant to apply to anchor babies, and what Trump is trying to do here actually is fully in line with the original historical interpretation of what the 14th Amendment was supposed to do. Even in U.S. versus Wong Kim Ark, the 1898 case most often cited by birthright supporters due to its overbroad language, the court only held that a child of lawful permanent residence, not tourists, not illegal immigrants, was a U.S. citizen. This is a far cry from saying that a child born of individuals who are here illegally must be considered a U.S. citizen. The court's interpretation of the 14th Amendment as extending to the children of legal non-citizens was incorrect. Even that, right, according to the text and legislative history of the amendment, but even under that holding, citizenship was not extended to the children of illegal aliens, only permanent legal residents. It is just plain wrong to claim that the children born of parents temporarily in the United States as students or tourists are automatically U.S. citizens. They do not meet the 14th Amendment's jurisdictional allegiance obligations. They are, in fact, subject to the political jurisdiction and allegiance of the country born of their parents. The same applies to the children of illegal aliens because children born in the United States to foreign citizens are citizens of their parents' home country. Federal law, by the way, offers them no help either. U.S. immigration law simply repeats the language of the 14th Amendment, including the phrase subject to the jurisdiction thereof. So you basically get the idea. The original point of the 14th Amendment was butchered throughout the years, but we're not violating the Constitution to say it should be returned to its original meaning. Let's make that clear. And again, it might have to go to the Supreme Court to decide it again, but I'm making the argument here. What Trump wants to do in ending the anchor baby loophole with illegal immigrants with tourists is not unconstitutional. And by the way, that woman is just screaming absolute nonsense. She, it appears, is a citizen. She gave birth to a citizen as a citizen. Nothing that Trump is trying to do applies here, and I think she knows that. She's just being intentionally dishonest, and her rant about Democrats in the election further verifies that. But with that said, guys, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, God bless and peace.